12 hours of Arknights Endfield. What's good, guys? CJ here, and today we gotta talk about my first impressions of Arknights Endfield after playing for 12 hours live on stream. You guys can feel free to check out the channel, and there is a lot to talk about when it comes to this game. Originally, I went into it with a little bit of skepticism. I'm not a big fan of gachas, even though I played pretty much every gacha that you've heard of. I've played it in the past, or I'm currently playing them. And I wasn't a big fan of the whole gacha system, right? We all know the insane amount of doom posting that has gone around Arknights and its gacha system, as well as several other features from this game. So today I'm going to tell you how I felt after playing for 12 hours. I'm currently account level 21, so I have progressed quite a bit. I've done my summons, and up to pretty much a deep part of my playthrough, so like 10 hours in, I hadn't really spent almost any money. I had bought the battle pass and the $5 monthly, and that's about it, until I finally decided that, well, I kind of like the game, but I'll tell you more about that in a minute. So first off, when I first got into the game, I gotta tell you guys, I was very impressed, because the quality of the game is absolutely peak. It's like on top. Very, very high quality product. I can tell you guys right off the bat, the product is insanely high quality. And I play games like, for example, Wuthering Waves, some of the big, high quality, good looking games, and I was still impressed by the way the characters look, the world look, the textures on the characters' outfits, bodies, hair, all of that. It just looks really, really good. And the world as well, right? As we got into the game, we saw the little introduction, and it looked really good. The world looked great. And honestly, if we move past the graphics alone, the game has been running perfectly for me. I haven't lagged once. I haven't had any stutters. I hadn't had any issues whatsoever. So it not only does it look really good, but this game has been optimized to hell and back. Like, it works perfectly, and I don't have a very high-end computer. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. I do not have a very high-end computer, and it's been running perfectly for me. So right off the bat, on performance, the launch, the graphics, I got to say, it's one of the best-looking gachas I've played in a while. Moving on from that, we talk about the gameplay, and guys, the gameplay on this game, it's very, very interesting, and it's very good, because I didn't feel like I was playing an actual gacha game. And I know it's stupid to say that, because you still have the summons, you still have your whole team, the typical dupe system, the weapons, yada yada yada. But I felt like I was playing some type of like Final Fantasy 15 type of game, not just from the way the game looks and the way the game is presented to a certain degree, but also the way the characters look, the way your team is set up, the way you fight. It felt very Final Fantasy-like, and I was very impressed. I really liked the gameplay, the combat, the way you can use your character's skills. Felt really good, and I know so far you might think I'm glazing the game, but I didn't really plan to enjoy this game this much and be in here for over 12 hours on stream, getting to level 21 on the first day, and pushing all this content. I was really not expecting that. So I'm just really pleased. So when it comes to the combat, I really like the fact that you can fight with your one character, but your team is there with you. You use their abilities. You kind of have like their ultimates that you can cast out there as well. And they really synchronize really well with each other. So that alone was really good. I don't have any gripes regarding the graphics, the optimization, the combat. All of that honestly has been some of the best experiences I've had in a while, right? From here, we got to move on to the one aspect of the game that is very, very complex, and that is the actual interfaces, the whole base building. Like, all of this is very freaking complex. You're going to walk into this game, and you're going to be a little bit confused. A lot of bit confused, because the menus, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of menus going on. There's a lot of things within the things. You'll find things within the things that you might get confused. It could be one of those things where it's because you're brand new into the game and you don't know a lot of these things. But look, I'm going to be real, out of all the games I've been playing recently and all the games I've played in the past, this one has a lot of shit. This one has so much crap that it's honestly confusing. Like, it's actually confusing. This simple factory, like, system where you're trying to set up all your things is confusing to learn. You're going to have to go through at least 47,000 and a half tutorials and explanations, and even with the tutorials and explanations, you're still sitting there a bit confused. And I know some of you out there might be thinking, nah, this is easy. Hey, that's easy for you, but for the common player, for most people, it's confusing. The amount of menus, tutorials, explanations, and things might be a little bit off-putting to some people, because it does get tedious, and there is a lot that goes into it, guys. That's the thing. There's a lot that goes into it. This whole building system, right? This whole thing right here is very, very complex, and there's a lot of ways that you can get lost. But I just got to tell you one thing. Don't get discouraged by the amount of tutorials that you're going to be put as you start the game, and also by this freaking factory system. There was a point in the game, in the stream, where I was getting frustrated because I didn't know what the hell to do. I kept having to move things. It's stressful. I will tell you that. If you're a first-time gamer like this that doesn't really do like base building and all that, it can be stressful and confusing. But moving past that, it's not too bad the more you know, kind of mess with it. And from what I understand, what people are telling me, you're eventually going to be able to automate everything, where everything kind of works on its own. You can use blueprints where you set them down and everything's kind of already done kind of for you. You just got to do minimal connections and stuff. So it is very tedious. It is very confusing. But it's still very, very interesting. And the way that you kind of like go around the map doing some of the puzzles, connecting and taking energy to certain areas of the map is actually cool. If you guys see these little things here, this is pretty much your base, and you're taking with these lines energy to these areas. And with these little energy things, you're able to unlock certain parts of the map, certain like puzzles you're able to solve. And it's pretty good. And so far the map, you might think this is the map. There's a lot more that goes into the map right here. And this is just what I've unlocked. And even this, you might think doesn't look very big, right? It feels pretty big, right? It actually feels pretty big. I'm still exploring the map. I'm still doing a lot. And I'm not going to sit here and say the map is absolutely gigantic. But because of the way you traverse the map, it does feel that way. Now, this is one of the points where some people might say that it's a negative on it, but I haven't found it to be that tedious. It's different, right? It is different, right? If you're used to fast, you know, traversal, whether it's by flying, whether it's by mount, whether it's by wall climbing, whether it's by even double jumping, you don't have that here, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to be exploring this in a very casual way. You don't have no crazy double jumps, no flying. You can't pop out a biker or a, you know, chocobo and ride around the map. At least not yet, right? At least not to where I've gotten to so far, okay? So you will be running a lot until you're able to teleport between places. It does have a lot of verticality to it, which is cool. There's a lot of like grapple lines, zip lines, and stuff like that, which is really damn nice. But the traversal around the map is a little bit slower than your typical games if you come from things like even Genshin, Wuthering Waves, my community, Duet, Night Abyss. It does feel a little bit more tedious, okay? Moving on from here to the aspect that a lot of people want to know about is the gacha system. And I'm someone that literally has a incredibly whaled out Wuthering Waves account, and I've whaled on many other gachas in the past. I've played a lot of other gachas as a free-to-play, so I have all the knowledge in that aspect, from a person that has like a free-to-play account without even $5 spent to someone that has spent like $10,000 on their account, right? So I can tell you what it is when it comes to summoning, the summoning system, the pity, all of that stuff. And I'm going to tell you my opinions because this is one of the most controversial topics that I've heard regarding Arknights Endfield. And I'm going to be real with you guys. Before I even show you that, I'm going to show you my roster, okay? I'm going to show you my roster, and no, I haven't whaled hard. Matter of fact, I haven't even spent $100 in this game. And if I've spent, let's say, $50, $60 in the game, I still have most of that currency because I kind of did get lucky. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I did get lucky, but the fact that I got lucky doesn't like influence what I'm talking about the game, okay? It might influence the fun I've had in the game, but not the aspects that I'm covering, okay? So this is my roster so far. First off, you have Last Rite, which is a very, very dope character. Cryo character. She's beautiful. And look, yo, like I'm telling y'all, you can see the details on these characters. They look so freaking good. Like, extremely high quality. They did a wonderful job with the details on this character. I'm currently rocking these other units like Shaihi and Perlica. I also got Ardelia, which is an insane quality of life unit that's going to heal you, support your team, and we get her for free after a few days of logging in. I kind of got lucky and got her on the banner. Some people might not want to get a character we're getting for free in the banner. I've loved having her on my team. On top of that, from the free 40 pull banner that we all get when we start the game, I got Amber. I haven't used her yet, but she does look amazing. She looks super freaking good. Out here, I did end up doing all of the currency you get for free on the Leviathan banner. And I also, after doing all those summons, I ended up saying, you know what? I'm loving the game. I've played about 10 hours, give or take. I'm going to put a little bit of money in. I did a little bit more summons, and I got Leviathan, which is amazing. I haven't used her yet, but I've seen her gameplay, and she's absolutely cracked. So I'm loving that about this, this game. And those are the units that I have, and obviously all the other 4 stars or 5 stars that we have in this game. So I have done quite a bit of summons. I do have quite a bit of the units. I will be doing videos, guides, all that good stuff regarding this game, because there's a lot to actually know. But now that we've talked about that, let's talk about the banner system. This is not going to be a breakdown of the banner system because there's videos for that. And I'm not going to lie, the banner system is freaking complex. It's a little complicated, it's a little convoluted, but it is not a bad banner system. I'm going to tell you that right now, and I'm going to tell you how I think people should go about it, but I'm going to tell you why I think it's so good. Once again, from someone that has spent a lot in all these different games. First off, you have your regular standard banner. You have the 40 pull banner when you first get into the game. When you do 40 summons, you're going to get one of these characters right here. And you also, when you finally do the 40 summons, you get a chest where you can claim a weapon, which I'll actually show you the chest somewhere over here. I believe it's here. Somewhere up in here. Let's see. Right here. You get this chest, I believe is this one right here. And you're able to pick one of these weapons, which is pretty damn cool. So, going back to the banner system, I think this is honestly one of the better banner systems that I personally have partaken in. Not because of my luck, but because of how it works. First off, the biggest advice I would give people is don't summon on the banner unless you know you're going to get the character, okay? Just don't do it. It's that simple. I know you might be itching. You might be saying, oh, well, that sucks. But don't summon unless you know you're going to get the character. There's a lot of things to know about this banner, but I will tell you my personal experience. So, this is going to be the rate up banner pretty much, because the other things is just like regular standard banner that don't really matter too much. But for the rate up banners, I did about 30 summons if I'm not mistaken, and after I did those 30 summons, I was gifted a free 10 pull within the banner. And in that 10 pull, I got lucky and got a 6-star, which was the healing chick, and it didn't reset my pity, it didn't reset anything, which was really freaking good, right? When you get to pity, you either get a 5-star, a random standard banner 5-star, or you get the rate up character. If you don't get the rate up character when you finally get to the pity, then you have to go to 120 pulls to guarantee yourself the banner character. So 120 pulls is the max pulls until you get the character guaranteed. And along that, you would have also gotten a free 10 pull. You would have gotten a 10 pull for the upcoming banner, because they have like these little milestone looking things. And you would have gotten currency for the weapons. For the weapons. Yes, you summon for the weapons here with you get currency by summoning on the banners, and with that currency, you're able to summon for the weapons. And a lot of people were confused, saying that, oh, what if you summon 10 pulls, 20 pulls in here and get the character, then you're screwed. No, the currency from summoning overall is the same currency that you use to get these weapons, as you can see right here. So like me personally, I've been summoning on the standard banner, and I've gotten a little bit of currency, and I'm saving it so I can keep pulling on the limited character's weapon. Right, and that's what I've done to get my other weapon over here, and you get like a free 10 pull for one of these, and I got that as well, so pretty damn cool. Overall, I gotta say, when I compare this to a lot of other gacha systems that I've been playing, it feels a lot more generous, right? Because you get a free temple. Let's say we're just talking about, you're going through it one time. You get a free temple. You get a free temple for an upcoming units banner. You get this while you're summoning for the character. Let's consider we got to go to pity on like this game or Wuwa or Genshin. While you go to pity, you would have gotten a 5-star. Let's say you had to go to hard pity, which is 120. You would have gotten a 5-star at 80 pulls, and you would have gotten the guaranteed at 120 pulls, which is pretty damn nice, personally, right? And then as you're doing all those summons, you get enough currency to do a bunch of pulls here. You might not get enough to do all the pulls to guarantee you the weapon, but at least you get enough to get yourself multiple pulls on the weapon banners, per se, on the weapon banners, right? And then if you're doing pulls on the standard banners, you're also going to get that same currency, which is very, very nice. There was a lot of crap going on with this banner, because if I'm being honest with you, this is not your typical banner like when you hop into Wuthering Waves or Genshin Impact that, it takes 2 seconds to explain how it works, how those banner works. This is a lot more complex. Anybody that tells you this is not more complex than your regular banner, or in general a little convoluted, they're just coping, they're lying to you. There's nothing wrong with saying the banner is complicated. It is complicated. There's a lot of things that you gotta know, and you'll ask questions like, when I summon 30 times, what do you mean I get a free temple? And if I get a 5-star or a 6-star within that temple, it doesn't reset my pity. What about if I get it outside of that? Like, there's a lot of questions that you can do regarding the summoning system in this game. But one thing to conclude that particular topic is, it is a very good summoning system when you compare it to a lot of other gacha systems. It's actually pretty good. The only thing that I will tell you is, try to save your summons, because the worst thing about it is that a certain aspect of the pity doesn't transfer to the upcoming banner, right? That's probably the worst aspect of this banner, that a certain aspect of it doesn't transfer to the upcoming banner, okay? So you don't want to summon on this if you're not going to guarantee yourself the unit, because you might get, screwed out and it won't transfer to the upcoming unit, and you might not like that. So that is the worst part out of it, but everything else within the actual banner is pretty good. If it transferred to the upcoming character, it would have been literally one of the best gacha banners of all time. And at the end of the day, any content creator that is attacking the banner or defending the banner to an extreme degree where they're like literally fighting over it, they're pretty much fighting over which shit tastes better, because gacha is gacha, it's all shit. But it is pretty good in this one when we're comparing it to other gacha systems. That's pretty much the last thing regarding the banner system. Now, another thing I really want to talk about this game is that it's really nice to explore and run around the map doing all these different things, because even though you eventually get to automate a lot of these things, the exploration has felt nice, and everything has actually felt like it has some sort of like meaning. In games like, Genshin Impact or games like Wuthering Waves, the famous term mint picking is now, a thing that everybody knows. Everybody's a mint picker, because when it comes to overworld resources, they don't really have like value like whatsoever. There's like no value over like picking mint or doing any of those things. Whereas in this game, it has felt like a lot of those things actually hold a lot of value. You can craft potions that your characters will auto-eat as you're fighting, which has been really good. Exploring has had little challenges, which a lot of these games has. None of that is too much, but automating some of the things to be able to repair other areas has been really cool. And just overall, it finally feels like exploring and picking up little random things around the world hasn't fully been a full-on waste of time. And I really like that, because I was tired of picking mint for no reason. And on top of that, the game, as you progress, it is going to be smoother. This is something that we have in a lot of other games. So for example, as you're exploring, there's going to be these little orbs that you'll see floating, these little white orbs. I guarantee you guys, and this is where I'm going with this, make sure when you're exploring, you actually open chests. Take the time to run around the world, pick up chests, find all these little hidden things that are going to be dope. Pick up like all the things you see, all of the things, all the consumables, everything. Solve puzzles. Actually, solve the puzzles. And those little white things that I was telling you that are little flying like white orbs, pick them, because when you come to this thing right here, you'll be able to submit the Aurelian And this will give you some really good rewards, like this thing right here. It'll give you originometry and some other stuff like experience, which is going to be really good, but something that's a big quality of life change, considering that we don't have like flying, or we can't pop out a freaking bike, at least at the moment, to run around the map, is this right here. Stamina Delimiter. This is going to give you more stamina. Once acquired, stamina limit for dodge, dash actions is permanently increased. So these are the things I'm talking about right here. You'll run around the map, grab them, collect them, and then bring them to these areas right here, pretty much these right here on the map, any of these right here, and then you'll be able to submit them, and it'll actually increase your stamina. So right here you can see that it's going to increase my stamina, and maybe if I get a little bit higher, but I doubt I will. Nonetheless, I was saving this one just to show you guys. So let's go, let's submit them real quick, and look at all of that. A bunch of experience, which is going to be really good. Sanity syrup, which is also really good. Use this to recover 40 sanity so you can farm more. Stamina over here, and then all these little things right here, which is really, really good. And I'm very close to getting to that next increase of stamina, which is beautiful. And as you can see right there, boom, a whole nother little stamina gauge when it comes to this thing. But I think I've talked a lot about the game so far. I've pretty much told you how I felt regarding these characters, the open world. The only thing I can't really touch up on is the story. I'm not a story type of gamer, so I kind of have skipped most of the story. I have seen some really cool cutscenes here and there, but I'm not one to talk about that story. That is more for you guys. Maybe let me know in the comment section below if the story is really good or not. But honestly, I'm enjoying my time with the game. Let me know what you guys think of the game so far. Right now, with what I've played so far, with my first impressions, I would rate the game probably an 8.5 to a 9. It's very impressive. I've been enjoying it, and it's not to glaze it. I'm gonna be real, I don't even care for gachas like that. But the game has been really good. But that's gonna be it for this video. If you did enjoy it, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.